when running for slice of life type role-playing, there is one thing that can bring lots more life and enjoyment to it, and that's jolly little side details. And how we can bring such detail forth is to describe some things that usually are not the central focus, but can be interesting and can bring feeling of depth and fulfillment to your players, whilst allowing you to world build for atmosphere and, depth of your surroundings. So, when there's an opportunity, like them having a drink at the tavern, then you can describe in more detail how does the drink taste with its balance of sting and sweetness and bubbliness from fermentation and such stuff. Or feelings of being in a warm blanket by the fire, or going to the bath and then to a fresh bed, or such things. Now you might wonder who has time for such things when there's adventure to be had, and you're kinda right. So what we do is we do two things. One thing is to describe these things when they sort of stand out a bit, whether they are of excellent, but not necessarily the topmost, but excellent quality that stands out among hard work, blood, sweat, and tears of otherwise drudgery on the road or adventure or other things. Or when it's pleasantly average, sort of to put it in just the right above average range, where it's sort of perfect in its representation of mundane good thing that is happening. And even then, in both of these cases, we only describe it in such detail when there's opportunity for something to happen, so that the players have opportunity to take their turns to do actions that might permit more play from them, and opportunities that you might have brought forth as the DM, as the environment, that may give further thing that will happen with the players, to the players, around the players. Because don't forget, in novels this happens frequently. You get a description of the person drinking a drink, you get a description of the drink, and then something occurs. So But I said always, but it's not always. We sometimes just do it when there's neutral opportunity, as described, where the players can potentially think or do something or describe their reactions to the pleasure, but there's no other opportunity much. This is to keep them guessing, so that this doesn't become an invitation for an event every single time that will be external, that will force them to act, that will at least rely on them to act. So therefore, if 1 in 4 times or so, or even whatever your proportion is, maybe half the time it isn't anything that will happen so much that they can do whatever they want, to react a little, to see how they relate to their pleasant free time in the world, that will keep them on their toes. They won't know when they're in perfect free time to leisure about, and when something is about to drop in on them. So that's how we bring delicious detail of life into our slice of life, and every other actually campaign that really benefits from it. There's very little campaigns that don't, so you can use this anywhere and it won't actually take time due to our optimizations that we mentioned earlier. This even then translates to other more centrally used things, like tools of the trade of each class of the player character. For example, for the rogue or the assassin, their tools of the trade, how their box of lockpicks looks, how does their collection of throwing knives look and feel and handle by balance, by purpose, by craft. Their poisons, what do they look like, what do they smell like, what do they taste like, when are they used, in what opportunity, and even what sounds the victims might make or not make, their symptoms, whatever else. When you're describing all these things, you're world building and you're giving the player skill to roleplay their character properly. So, adventure, if you thought this was unique, maybe you can spare me a click and I could see you here next and perhaps even every week. And until then, I would love to hear you in the comments, because I love talking to you all, and appreciate every opinion, and will have to give my own. So ask me whatever you will. I'll be sure to answer. Until next time, bye.